Hello, welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Moon Knight, Season 1, Episode 4, The Tomb. Welcome, everybody. We only got 2 more episodes left after this, so enjoy them while you can. Let me take care of some business first, then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you're going to roll the dice and see if YouTube will actually notify you when I come on live or not, you can hit that bell down below. And yeah, YouTube might notify you, might not, most likely not, but still. If you really want to know when I'm going to come on live again, you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages as well. All right. With that said, let's get to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you've not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Giving you enough time. All right. I'm sorry. And a little something there in my throat, I guess. I'm by myself anyway, so not a big deal. So yeah, the where we left off, of course, was Khonshu has been imprisoned by the gods into his little clay statue, if you will, and he's been ensconced in a wall someplace in the Great Pyramid of Giza, along with a bunch of other gods. We see a whole bunch of other gods in the wall there that have been, I guess you could say, silenced by the Enid, and it doesn't look good for him at this point. And in the meantime, Stephen, who's riding the body at this point, and Layla are still out in the middle of the desert, and uh, Stephen is unconscious, and after, of course, losing the suit, and a car pops out in the middle of nowhere, starts shooting at them, and Layla is able to take them out, and then Stephen, of course, wakes back up again, and they decide to go after and try and find out where Amit's tomb is, of course, because now they know where it's at. And along the way, of course, Mark is trying to get the body back. He keeps telling Steven he wants the body back, and Steven's like, "No, we made a deal. We made a deal. Once Khonshu's gone, I get the body, you disappear." Of course, that's not going to happen because they're still not done yet with what needs to be done with Amit, and we still have a whole thing ahead of us here, a whole path, I should say, ahead of us, and that whole path leads on foot at some point, and they find Amit's tomb, end up going inside, and there was something a little odd there too. As they're searching the tents, they notice it's deserted, outside, and um, obviously the pharaoh's how should I say this? I guess keepers, guardians, or whatever it is, have come out into the desert at some point because we do see one of the hooks that they use later on laying out there by the tents. I didn't know what it was at first. I thought maybe that Layla had used it to brain somebody, but no, it was actually just kind of a foreshadowing of the what they find inside the tomb, which is these reanimated corpses, if you will, and they are hunting down Harrow's men one by one, pretty much Arthur Harrow's men, and pulling out their organs while they're alive. Yeah. So kind of interesting stuff. So of course Layla and Steven get separated. Steven ends up finding, because he has to find Amit's her little statue that she has because it's been hidden away, and he ends up finding Alexander the Great's tomb, which is interesting. Alexander the Great having once been one of the avatars of Amit, which we find out later on there. And Stephen, of course, has to open up Alexander the Great's jaw, reach inside, and he finds the statue. But who finds him as well? But Arthur Harrow and his men. And of course, he doesn't have the suit, he doesn't have the healing abilities, and Haro kills him. Layla sees all of this too. And also, Layla, in the meantime, also learns about that Mark was there when her father died. He was at the dig site. And Mark always says, he says that it was his greedy partner that was the one that actually killed her father, not him. And I'm wondering if the greedy partner is the third personality that we keep seeing or alluding to in all of this. So we see more of it in this episode as well. But I'm wondering if that's the third partner, which is another personality of Mark's, and he's the one who's actually responsible for all of this. Um, he gets shot by Arthur Harrow and wakes up in an insane asylum in a wheelchair, with Harrow being the doctor and Layla being a patient as well. Yeah, so fairly interesting. And as Mark kind of gets his wits about him and tries to escape the room that he's in, and he hears screaming in one of the other rooms and finds a sarcophagus which has Stephen in it. So now they are side by side. They don't know how they're doing this because, of course, last thing they remember is getting shot. They are running down the hallway and they see another room with another sarcophagus, which they don't stop for because that's the third personality, which is the murderous personality. And I'm wondering if that is actually the alpha personality, because in all of these personalities, you usually have one that is the alpha, the main personality that all the other personalities are split from. And I'm wondering if that is the case with this, or if Mark is actually the alpha personality. I don't know which one it's going to be. So, of course, they're running down the hallway and they come to a door with a shadow behind it, and the door opens up, and it's a hippo on two legs who's dressed up in Egyptian armory. And she raises her hand and says, "Hi." And they both scream, and that's where we cut to black. So, who is the hippo goddess there? Um, that is actually Taweret. There we go. I have to Taweret. Uh, and she is the Egyptian goddess of fertility, the Egyptian goddess of birth, also the Egyptian goddess of the resurrection. So, not erection, but resurrection. So this is, the Egyptians would actually pray to her for having a child, or the safe birth of a child, also for crops, for the flooding of the Nile to happen that would actually make the crops grow as well. And that was considered a resurrection of the land because of the flooding of the Nile coming in. And yes, I mean primary, not the alpha. Sorry, primary. Thank you. That's what I meant. CBM. Thank you. But yeah, so that's who she is. She is actually the goddess of the resurrection, which of course is going to make a lot more sense considering he's been shot twice and most likely is dead at this point. And obviously, Khonshu was the one that saved him the first time when his business partner went bad and shot him. So, yeah, we're going to see what's going to happen in the next episode here. Again, we only have 2 episodes left. I'm very excited to see what happens in this. This is a pretty good Marvel series. I mean, we're having a good Marvel series here. I'm liking this. And, it also kind of brought back to me at this point comic books. The thing about comic books that people that who have dismissed comic books as just being kid stuff don't get is that sure, there are kid stuff in comic books, but there's also a lot of ideas that are presented, a lot of information that is presented through the comics that is easier for people to access. So, like Moon Knight, I remember there was a lot of Egyptian facts, a lot of Egyptian history that was actually posited through the comic. So this was stuff they actually did research on that they put into the comics, and they interwove the story through them. Um, there's all kinds of information that you get from comics, a lot of esoteric information. I'm fairly sure it's the reason why my brain has so much esoteric information in it, and random trivia it's probably from comics, most likely at this point, but more power to it, you know? So yeah, that's something that people who don't know anything about comics don't get, is that there's such a wide palette to choose from the comic book world, that that's what's interesting about it. That's what makes us want to read more of this stuff, is because we get a wide variety of items to choose from, and also we get all that stuff. You can pick and choose however you want to, like most information streams. So good stuff, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to next week's. Yeah. And thanks, CBM. Yeah, it was primary. I mean, alpha. Yeah, primary is. I was thinking dollhouse all of a sudden for some reason with alpha. But you are correct. The primary personality. So, can't wait for next week. I haven't seen the preview for it as of yet. I don't think they release the preview until, I don't know if they release a preview for it, to tell you the truth. So, but I do know that Towerette is going to be in the next 2 episodes. So she's going to be in episodes 5 and 6. So obviously she's going to be a big player in this, as are the other gods. So um it was pleasantly weird. Yeah, it was. The whole thing about this in the comics, um the Enid, the Egyptian gods, uh aren't on Earth because of the Celestials. The Celestials, who of course were introduced in the Eternals, right? So the Celestials basically told the Egyptian gods and the Olympian gods, "Fuck off from Earth," is what they said. You know what? We don't want your influence on them anymore. If you want to go through avatars, on Earth, and you just kind of want to keep tabs on them, that's great. But if you have any influence on them, direct influence on them, we will destroy you. So they kind of have roads, much like the Asgardians do, to Earth, that they can visit in different guises, if you will, and see what's going on Earth, but they aren't supposed to interfere. That's the reason why the Enid says they don't interfere in the ways of man anymore, is because of the Celestials. That's from the comics, by the way. Same thing with the Asgardians, same thing with the Olympians, all that kind of stuff. Which I guess we're going to see the Olympians in, Thor: Love and Thunder, because we saw Zeus. At least we saw the back end of Zeus catching the lightning bolt. Which means if we're going to see Zeus, we're going to see Hercules, because Hercules was a big part of the Avengers and all of that as well. And I mean, this is all exciting stuff, man. This is stuff I never thought I'd ever see in live action ever in my lifetime. At least not good. I thought it was going to be more like the 70s Spider-Man kind of stuff, that's all we were going to get, or the 70s, Legion of Superheroes, or Super Friends, or whatever that they did that was really cheesy. But no, things have come along very nicely, and it's now the more dominant form of entertainment in the world, which I'm happy with. I know Martin Scorsese isn't. Neither is what's his face, Blade Runner director, you know. Yeah, but fuck him. Anyway, with that said, what else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, I'm off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I might, like I said, I might move Sunday's podcast to Saturday, although it might be kind of crowded with what I'm already doing. So, who knows? I might be off the rest of this week. We'll see what happens. But come next Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I don't know what I'm doing as of yet, but I'll pick something. I know there's new stuff that's out on Netflix, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, next Wednesday will be Moon Knight. We roll back around again to Moon Knight with episode 5, and we'll see what episode 5 brings us. So, with that said, I want to thank CBM for being in the chat there, and thank you guys out there who are watching on video. If you like what you see here, uh, please subscribe down there. And if you can, like and share as well. And if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule out there. I put it up every week, and I also have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages up there as well. And that's all I got for you. Thanks, CBM. Good night to you as well. Thanks, everyone. I will see you again probably on Tuesday is what's going to happen there. So until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find that you have to reach down Alexander the Great's skeleton of his dead body to find the statuette of Amet in order to save the world and kind of be gross and dry and bleh. Anyway, thanks everybody. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get those boosters as well. It doesn't work without the boosters. And I will see you again later. Until then, have a good rest of your night and a good rest of the week too. And take care out there. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.